Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Jennifer for The Median, and today we are in the 2021 Hyundai Elantra. This car actually just won the North American Car of the Year award, like actually the week that we have it. So congratulations Hyundai. I can see why. There's a lot of good in this car. There is a little bit of bad though. This is the 7th generation Hyundai Elantra. It is Hyundai's smaller sedan, though this 7th generation is longer, lower, and wider than the previous generation. So it is almost the biggest in its class, and I can actually sit behind myself without my knees, pushing the front seat forward. The cabin is quite spacious, and there really is a lot of good in this car. One of the things that I really like is that all of this is canted towards me, right? It's driver centric, which is really nice. 10.25 inch digital screen here. Standard on here is an 8-inch screen. You can get this 10.25 inch screen over on this side as well. The dumbest thing in this car is right here. This is a sticker. There is a little sticker that looks like it should be another gauge or a dial, and it's just a design component according to Hyundai's materials, but it's weird and completely out of place, I think, in a cabin that is otherwise nice and canted towards the driver. There's a whole lot of content in here, but you can get, for the first time ever in the Elantra line, you can get a hybrid, which is kind of nice. This is not the hybrid. There are 3 different powertrains available across the Elantra lineup. If you get the hybrid iteration, it's a 1.6 liter Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder paired up with a 32 kilowatt battery. It's only good for 139 horsepower, but 195 pound-feet of torque, so probably scooting off the line will be quite good. Then there's the Elantra SE, SEL, and Limited. Those come with a 2-liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine, good for 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. Then there's the N-Line Elantra, which has a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, good for 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. With all that said, maybe we should go driving. One of the things I really like about the Elantra is that it just has the standard sort of old school Prindle. Park, reverse, neutral drive. You can slap it over here and shift for yourself. Especially in this model. Why? This is interesting. In the hybrid, you get a double clutch transmission. In this car, you get an IVT. That's what Hyundai calls it, an intelligently variable transmission. So it's a CVT by a different name. It's meant to mimic a sort of standard automatic transmission, but it's rubber bandy, because that's what a CVT is. It's a rubber bandy transmission geared towards admittedly better fuel economy. And a lot of buyers for this segment are looking for reliability, safety, and fuel economy, not necessarily performance. Now, in this vehicle, in the time that we've had it, we've averaged, I'm looking right now, 36 miles per gallon. That's not bad. It's not outstanding, but it's not bad. If you go with the hybrid, you're supposed to get way better than that, and I'm sure it does. But the standard features that are included in the Elantra are phenomenal, especially when you talk about the safety features. I'll have to pull over to read down that list because it's so extensive. Smart Sense safety features: forward collision assist with pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist, lane follow assist, high beam assist, driver attention warning, rear view camera with dynamic guidelines, blind spot collision avoidance assist, rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist, and safe exit warning. So like if you're going to get out of the car and you're starting to open the door and there's somebody coming, it'll beep at you. That's standard. Not bad. So this car, as is, 25 grand. I've got heated seats in the front, driver and passenger, automatic climate control. You know what one of the coolest things is? Wireless Apple CarPlay. Here's my phone. No plugs. None at all. Boop, Apple CarPlay. Oh, look at that. And it works for Android Auto as well. One other really nifty feature that the Elantra has is cooled wireless charging. So there's an inductive charger down here, but it's vented. so that when your phone is down there and if you're playing your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and you're charging it wirelessly while you're wirelessly playing this stuff, it's going to keep your phone cool. That's pretty cool. This car also has 3 different driving modes. There's a big button right down here that says drive mode. I'm in normal right now. If I tap that, boop. Oh, there's this dramatic visual graphic of things changing in the instrument panel here, and the gauges turn red. And from what I understand in the limited models, there's a light strip along the vents here that also change to the same color as your instruments. If you're in eco mode, it's green. If you're normal, it's blue. If you're in sport, it's red. This doesn't have that, unfortunately, but that's kind of cool. And so when I switched over, you heard it sort of shift up again. There's no gears to shift between. It's a CVT, intelligently variable transmission. But it is now holding RPMs higher for the speed that I'm at. The gauges are red, and there's actually a change in the weight of the wheel to make it a little heftier. Then I can go to smart mode, where it kind of plays around and uses the best of both worlds, your normal and your sport, and tries to think about what you're doing and learn your route and help you to drive better. I think that this engine is trying to be responsive to what I want from it, but I'm not always getting it. And I think that's because of the transmission just being what it is. I've never been a huge fan of CVTs, but if your goal is to drive to and from work, pick your kids up from school, drop them off at school, and have decent fuel economy doing it, that's the benefit of a CVT. I can't argue with that. So the ride itself on these relatively smooth roads is quite nice. I mean, there's wind noise, there's things that you would expect in a car in this price range. But the ride is relatively smooth. And I thought that's the way this car always rode, until I went into a parking lot that looked like it had been bombed. The suspension started behaving in ways that weren't the best, shall we say. The rebound was excessive. It just started bouncing all over the place and bucking like a wild bronco. And I thought, well, maybe it's just this parking lot. So I went and sought out a couple roads that aren't great. And no, just cruising down the street, if you've got unbecoming roads, this thing will kind of misbehave. Brakes are fine. Brakes are good. Really, it's a good vehicle, especially when you consider the price. The design is interesting. I think it's better looking than some of its competitors. It's certainly more eye-catching than some of its competitors. Hyundai calls it parametric dynamic design. There's lots of different converging lines and things like that. It's a take it or leave it sort of design. So would I take a Hyundai Elantra? The ride thing really bothers me. The fact that the chassis can get that shaken up over bad roads just bothers me. Other than that, I would take it over several competitors. But be all end all, I'd probably get a Golf. Hyundai, really good job with this car. I can see why it's winning accolades. It's a very, very nice car. Fix that ride for me, and then give me a call.